Close-up look at all your Concho Valley High School football. This is Inside the Game, sponsored by Mitchell Automotive Group.
Week 4 of Texas high school football is here. Welcome to Inside the Game. I'm your host, Jaden Hart. We've got a jam-packed show full of compelling matchups, so let's jump right in, starting with the classic rivalry between two of Texas's powerhouse traditions, and that's Mason and Wall. It's been a tale of two different stories for these two teams to start the season. As usual, they've both played quality opponents but are trending in different directions. The Hawks are off to a 2-1 start and coming off a hard-fought loss against San Antonio Cornerstone, whereas the Punchers are off to an 0-3 start for the first time since 2002. Now for a third consecutive season, these two meet. The road team has won each time, and since 2000, the series is split at 3 games apiece. None of those times the road team has won, or the road team has won every time, excuse me. Last season, Wall dominated this game, ending the Punchers' 40-game home winning streak at the Puncher Dome. And in this one, Mason comes out there. Matthew Kerr in the corner of the end zone gives the Punchers a 7-0 lead. And on the ensuing drive for Wall, Drew Morrison scrambles, making moves. The quarterback for the Hawks, power runner, gets down to the 1-yard line. Very next play, Morrison punches it in, and the Hawks are on the board. They cut the lead to 7-6, but are still trailing. So let's go to the second quarter. Morrison keeps it for himself again, pounding his way through that big offensive line. He's in for the touchdown, and Wall would end up running away with this one. They win 42-7. Our Mark Brown caught up with Houston Guy after the game.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mark Brown filling in for Rachel Turnock with KSAN News. And the Wall Hawks just rolled past the Mason Punchers 42-7, a big game. The team was flowing offensively and defensively, just totally dominated this entire game. And you had your two best running backs and Dominic Rios with a 72-yard touchdown run, and you had your other running back run a 53-yard touchdown run. So how's it feel, Coach, to, roll past these guys?
It's one of those things. Our running backs, the 3 guys in the backfield plus our quarterback, they do a great job, But I still think a lot of it starts on the offensive line. They did a fantastic job of creating holes in there. But then when they got in space, Dominic and Chase both are very dynamic runners.
Oh, it sure showed tonight especially. So when you look at that, so do you think just knowing that you guys dominated this game, does that just elevate the confidence leading into next week against Midland Christian?
I think it's gonna springboard us in. It's one of those things. We know Midland Christian's a tough place to play. We know that we've not ever won a home game or a road game versus Midland Christian. So it's one of those things. We know what we're up against. We got to play very well and kind of fix some mistakes that we left out here tonight.
And last but not least, where do you think you need to improve the most when it comes to leading into the Midland Christian game?
It's one of those things. We need to come out hot both offensively and defensively. We came out a little flat offensively. We came out a lot flat offensively. Fumbled the first 2 snaps. They recovered the second one, and it turned into one of their only touchdown tonight. We got to do a lot better job of coming out with the intensity that we did the third quarter. All
right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, that was Coach Houston Guy. Again, the Wall Hawks rolled past the Mason Punchers 42-7. Thanks for being on, Coach.
I appreciate you having me.
No problem. And once again, check out Inside the Game, 11:35. This is Mark Brown reporting from KSAN News. Back to you, Jaden.
This update sponsored by Bug Express.
By far, one of the most anticipated matchups this week was Warden County versus Sterling City. 2 perennial 6-man powerhouses squaring off for a battle of top 5 teams. The Eagles have looked the part so far this season. They've won twice by mercy rule and beat 7th-ranked May in Week 2. The talk has been about their depth, but returners like Francisco Gonzalez and Cross Knittel have been dominant on offense, while Chance Ferguson has anchored down the defense. As for the Coyotes, despite injuries, they've had some impressive wins of their own. Last week, they knocked off former #1 Rankin and beat the second-ranked team in 1A Division II, Calvert, in week 1. They might not be as big as they've been in the past, but they make up for it with their athleticism. So who came away with a big win tonight? And it would live up to the building. Sterling City trying to beat Warden County for the first time since 1979. First quarter, first possession for the Coyotes, and Kai Edwards takes it to the house. Warden County is on the board first, 8-0. But the Eagles on the very next possession came out. Cross Knittle finds Damian Calderon for the touchdown. Eagles trail 8-6 after a blocked extra point. And then a few plays later, Cross Knittle turning on the jet, shifting gears, and finds pay dirt. The Eagles take a 12-8 lead after another blocked extra point. This game, like I said, lived up to the billing, folks. Check this out. The Eagles were down 30 seconds with 30 seconds left and scored the go-ahead touchdown for a 62-58 win. Here's Coach Trey Cisco on the big win.
First of all, I mean, they're just a tremendous team and very well coached. And for us to get a win over a program and team like that is, you know, a step in the right direction for us going forward and something to build on. And, you know, having to come back at the end of the game and then, you know, taking care of business when it counted, and that's big for us. You know, the May game was close. These tough games are something else, and doing wonders for us. I mean, it's something, you know, we can build on and fix the things that we're doing wrong. So it's been awesome.
Two more programs who are no stranger to one another is the Snyder Tigers and Lakeview Chiefs. Tonight's matchup marked the 50th time they've played. The Chiefs are coming off their first loss of the season against a quality Sweetwater team last week, while the Tigers picked up their first win over Lamesa. It's been a tale of two offenses for these two. Lakeview has had no problem throwing the ball and has one of the best passing attacks in the state, while Snyder, on the other hand, has struggled but found some momentum last week running the football, something the Chiefs have had problems stopping in the past two games. So could the Chiefs rebound and get a win number 3? Both offenses struggled to score early in this one. Snyder's Hunter Stewart, though, the big throw to Cameron Smith for a Tigers first down. And then a little later, Cameron Smith with a quarterback sneak up the middle for the Tigers, and they strike first, 7-0 in the second quarter. Chiefs get the ball back and march down the field, though, ending with a pass from Albert Rodriguez to Austin Bandy. The two have found each other all year, 7-6 with minutes to go in the second quarter. Now, the Tigers going for a field goal with 13 seconds left, and it's going to end up being blocked by Adrian Mascaro. Despite that, the game went into halftime 7-6, and then in the third quarter, Lakeview ends up falling 36-12. So we're just looking at those three games. Lakeview losing back-to-back games next week. They host Brownfield. Hopefully they can bounce back and avoid that second season in a row where they kind of start off hot and then lose games. As for the Wall Hawks, another big win for them. And Mason put it, you know, on the line at the beginning of the game, made things tough for the Hawks, but they ended up coming away with that win. And next week against Midland Christian, a place that they have not won ever. So look forward to that game. It should be a good one. And it's Midland Christian's first game of the season. And then the Sterling City Eagles, that first win against Warden County since 1979. Good for the Eagles and Trey Cisco, because they're really proving that they could be one of the best in the state. When those rankings come out on Monday, don't be surprised if they're sitting at #1. But, hey, we are just getting started here on Inside the Game. The Ballinger Bearcats are still undefeated. They were taking on Clyde tonight. And could Grape Creek make it 2 in a row? Those games and more right after a quick break.
You see this little discoloration right here? It's gone. I've got this little red spot right here. Gone.
Now you can turn back time to look years younger fast instantly with the newest, best ever Luminesse with its acclaimed silk foundation.
With Luminesse, the little creases, it just blurs them away. And I just feel like I look so much younger.
Unlike old makeup that can cake up, accentuating problems, with touchless Luminesse, you're using up to 10 times less makeup than foundations applied with fingers. You get the best skincare, moisturizer, concealer, and foundation in one solution, applied with the power of the airbrush to give you skincare-powered cosmetics.
Skincare-powered makeup is kind of the perfect combination. And airbrush is really the perfect way to apply foundation.
Call or go online to use this special promo code to get 50% savings. To try Luminous Silk for just $19.95 and get $72 in free gifts. You'll even receive free shipping.
Hey, buddy. Check out the Chevy Silverado. It's got more standard cargo volume than any competitor.
Really?
Look to your left. Come, check it out.
That's a good-looking truck.
Oh, my gosh, that's insane.
That's a big bet.
Get a total value of $6,500 on this Silverado Texas Edition. You may even shop online and take delivery at home where available. Chevy drives Texas. Find new roads.
Hi, I'm Dr. Victor Schultze with North Bentwood Veterinary Hospital and Boarding. We are a family-run business located in the Bentwood area. We are always happy to give a tour of our facility. You can reach us on our Facebook page or give us a call.
The Locker Room is back on Concho Valley Homepage with high school football scores, highlights, and top stories available right from your computer.
Right at your fingertips.
The Locker Room. The Locker Room. Only on ConchoValleyHomepage.com.
Check it out today.
And we're back. Before the season even starting, the bar was set high for the Ballinger Bearcats, and so far, they've lived up to those expectations. They're just one of 3 teams still undefeated in the Concho Valley, and their defense is a big reason why. They've been holding opponents to just 6 points per game, and again, the Ballinger defense stepped up again tonight against a good Clyde Bulldogs team. Let's go to the highlights. Ballinger, still undefeated, like I said, taking on the Clyde Bulldogs first quarter. They're in the red zone, and Carter Arrett finds Weston Rolowitz. Man, he's been a touchdown machine all season. Bearcats up 7-0. Second quarter now, Clyde in striking distance, and a rare touchdown given up by the Bearcats. That's Hastings scores, and that would tie the game up at 7 apiece. Now, right before halftime, Clyde trying to add another score. That's Dylan Newman running around. He's just trying to add something. Throws it up, and it is going to be picked off by Tyler Vaughn. Good to see him back out on a football field. And the Bearcats keep their perfect record intact. They win 21-14 and improve to 4-0. How about the Great Creek Eagles trying to get a second straight win hosting Coleman, a feat they haven't done since early 2018. Opening possession for the Blue Cats, not a good start. Snap goes over Corbin Rosales' head. Blue Cats are forced to punt. Great Creek, though, could not respond and has a turnover of their own here. Jorge Rodriguez fumbles it. The Blue Cats come up with it. So could they translate that to any offense? Momentum in the red zone, going for it on 4th down, and Rosales' pass gets knocked away. It's a turnover on downs. This game was 3-0 at halftime, but the Blue Cats would go on to win this one 24-8. How about the TLCA Eagles? They're on the road facing the Reagan County Owls. Owls led 8-0 early. TLCA punting, looking for Reagan County. Looking a little rough for Reagan County first. But no, Christian Galindo takes it on a nice run, breaking a couple of tackles, and it would end up being a nice gain for him. And then on the very next play, Jacob Gallegos with the keeper. Looks like he'll score, but the TLCA defense comes up and makes him lose the ball, but Christian Turner jumps on it in the end zone, so the Owls go up 14-0. And then a little later in the first, Gallegos makes a quick pass to Isaac Perez, and Reagan County would go up to 20-0 at that point, and the Owls would get plenty of more points against a TLCA team that has struggled out of the gate. They lose 61-0. And let's check out the other scores from 3A Division II. Alpine beats Sonora 7-0. Another close loss for the Broncos. They're now 0-4, and that's the first time that's happened since 2008. It won't get any easier. They face El Dorado next week. Brady snaps a 2-game skid. They beat Dublin 38-24, and they'll have a tough one also next week. They get Ozona at home. So the Ballinger Bearcats remain undefeated, and next week for them, I'm talking about tough opponents. They get Llano on the road at Llano's place, and Llano, the team that They played San Saba tonight, and San Saba has been a team that has run roughshod on the state of Texas, and Llano beat them 35-31. So we have a big game upcoming for the Ballinger Bearcats. We'll see what they can do in that one. But coming up, we'll check in on the rest of 2A. Could El Dorado knock off 5th-ranked Wink? And Christoval had its first game in front of their home fans. We'll have those highlights right after this.
We're the Angry Eagles. We're the Watermelon Wildcats, and you're watching Inside the Game.
He said I should try dancing instead.
Our family never settles. We go all in, like this Nissan Sentra. It has power, it has style, it doesn't compromise.
Let's get back in there.
Let's do it.
Refuse to compromise. The all-new Nissan Sentra. Get a low $199 per month lease on Sentra, or save $2,000 on kicks.
Ashley Home Store's semi-annual clearance sale is going on now. For a limited time, get up to 25% off. Or buy today and pay later with 0% interest for 60 months. For a limited time, get 2 recliners for the price of 1 for just $488. This 2-piece power reclining sectional with headrest, only $1498. 7-piece dining set, now $998. Or 6-piece bedroom set for just $1598. For a limited time, shop and save at the semi-annual clearance sale. Only at Ashley Home Store.
It's time. It's time for you to focus on your dreams. Our world is changing every day, but our commitment to you doesn't. Things that matter to you matter to us. Things like high academic standards, low tuition rate, transferable coursework, and flexible learning options. Howard College is committed to our students, regardless of where they are learning. Are you ready? We're ready for you.
It's time again for Teacher of the Week, sponsored by Concho Educators Federal Credit Union. Go to ConchoValleyHomepage.com and tell us how your teacher goes above and beyond. They could win great prizes, including a plaque from Angelo Awards, a teacher appreciation bag from Concho Educators, a flower bouquet from Southwest Florist, a delicious cake from City Cafe and Bakery, and a gift certificate from Olive Garden. Teacher of the Week is sponsored by Concho Educators Federal Credit Union. Go to ConchoValleyHomepage.com for more info.
Welcome back to Inside the Game. One of the teams that has become a familiar opponent for our Concho Valley team so far this season has been the 5th-ranked Wink Wildcats. They played Christoval in Week 1, followed that up with Ozona in Week 2, and this week they had a chance to stay undefeated against El Dorado, but not if the Eagles had to say anything about it. Despite their 2 losses, both against good teams, they've got a talented young core, and it's only a matter of time before everything comes together for John Long's squad. So, how would this one end up turning out? The last 2 games have been on the road for El Dorado. And how about some action right away? At the home stadium, Larry Mitchell, Cooper Metter, breaking moves, going the distance, because that's an opening kickoff. Metter getting the crowd hyped. The Eagles take an early lead. Wink would respond, though. Cannon Gibson, this guy's a stud. Takes the quarterback keeper, gets to the pylon. He's ruled down at the 1, but they would end up punching it in. But Cooper Metter wasn't done yet. Covarrubias, that's Corbin, finds Metter again. This guy, I talk about Rolowitz being a scoring machine. He is one as well. Eagles right back on top. And then how about another Eagle touchdown? This one on a rushing score from James Kimball. Sadly, though, despite El Dorado having a big lead in this one, Wink would come back and get the win. They stay undefeated. El Dorado falls 61-46. Christoval's first home game hosting Roscoe, and this one was all Cougars. First quarter, Christoval up 14. Braden Wilcox, a name we will say time and time again, doing what he does. Quarterback scamper goes all the way for 6. And just like that, Christoval leads 21-0, but the defense got in on the fun. After a botched snap over the punter's head, they force a safety. That made it 30-0, and then Wilcox, still in the first quarter, just heaves one up for Bo Jolly, and Jolly comes down with it. He finds the end zone. The Cougars scored 39 in the first quarter and easily take their homecoming, 64-6. Let's go out to Menard. The Yellow Jackets looking for their first win of the season, taking on the Ozona Lions. We're looking to bounce back after a loss. First quarter, Jose Dominguez gets the handoff, and he's in. That was too easy. Ozona up 7-0. Later, Lions up by 13. Dominguez again on the carry, making moves, getting his blocks, and he will go all the way for the touchdown. Ozona up 19-0 at that point, and they cruise in this one. 46-0 is the final. After losing their first two games, Miles is right back on track, and they got their second straight win, 20-6 over Monday. Congrats to Coach Wilhelm and the Bulldogs. As for Junction, the Eagles get another win, back-to-back for them over Hico, 39-10. Hey, we're heading down the final stretch, and we might be entering the fourth quarter, but we're about to get into the wonderful world of six-man football. Coming up, Irion County hosted Grand Falls Royalty, while Eden trying to bounce back against Garden City. Those highlights and much, much more next.
Catering for Inside the Game is provided by Chick-fil-A.
Traditional or alternative, formal or informal viewing, burial, graveside, cremation, casket, overwhelmed. When it's time to mourn the loss of a family member, there are a number of things that keep you from focusing on grieving. Schaefer Funeral Homes helps you take care of everything in a way that will help you focus on what is important, your family. Schaefer Funeral Homes takes care of you so you can take care of them. Schaefer Funeral Homes, serving Concho Valley families for over 30 years.
Let's go shopping at Sunset Mall, where you can now get retail-to-go curbside pickup. Step 1. Order merchandise online or via social media. When your order is ready, pull into one of 12 designated retail-to-go curbside pickup spots at either the North or South Mall entrances. Visit sunsetmall.com for a list of participating retailers. Happy shopping!
Hey, buddy. Check out the Chevy Silverado. It's got more standard cargo volume than any competitor.
Really?
Look to your left. Come, check it out.
That's a good-looking truck.
Oh my gosh, that's insane.
That's a big bet.
Get a total value of $6,500 on this Silverado Texas edition. You may even shop online and take delivery at home where available. See All American Chevrolet in San Angelo.
The National Hispanic Cultural Center in Albuquerque, New Mexico is dedicated to the preservation, promotion, and advancement of Hispanic culture, arts, and humanities. The center presents more than 700 events and creates the opportunity for thousands more through its facilities.
This moment of Hispanic heritage is sponsored by San Angelo ISD.
Sterling City and Irion County were the only two six-man programs undefeated entering the night. We saw the outcome for the Eagles earlier. So how about the Hornets? They've mercy ruled each of their opponents so far, and this week they welcomed in a program known for its winning history, Grand Falls Royalty. Would they provide the Hornets with their first challenge of the season? Probably not. Irion County taking on Grand Falls. Early second quarter, Irion already up 8, and Riley Grider takes the corner, and he's in for a touchdown. Hornets out to a 22-6 lead. But how about some of that Hornets defense? Jaden Martinez trying to find someone downfield, and that goes into the hands of Trevin Kofel. Kofel looks like he's going to get brought down here, but breaks it and then cuts to the middle, and Kofel finds the end zone. Irion County takes a 30-6 lead. And then right before the half, Irion County in the red zone. Osiel Garza takes the ball and scores another touchdown for the Hornets. And just like that, the Hornets are 4-0. They get another big win, 52-6. How about Eden? Hunter Rogers the Eden Bulldogs visiting Garden City. Rogers with a quick pass to Dylan Odom for a quick Eden touchdown early, and they're up 6-0. Eden's trying to bounce back from back-to-back losses. Here, Garden City responds. Scheidenberg with a touchdown pass to Mason Walker. That'll tie it up at 6. After a turnover on downs, this forced by Garden City, Scheidenberg hands it off to Sebastian Balakars. And check out the scrambling all the way into the end zone. Garden City up 12-6, and Eden loses its third straight in a somewhat of a close one, 77-54. And Water Valley playing their first game of the season, hosting #1 Westbrook. We'll pick it up in the second quarter. Westbrook already up 26-8. Hunter Rich rolling around, throws up the floater to Hadley White. That extended their lead to 24. Then the last play of the half for Water Valley, trying to get something going before going into the locker room. Cannon Wise gets the toss, but he is bottled up in the backfield. They made it 32-8 going into the half. And Westbrook, they're the #1 team in the state for a reason, cruises 56-8. And how about Bront? They were hosting Grady tonight at Stevenson Stadium. First quarter, Grady threatening. Caden Hayes scores easily there. Grady up 8-6. Then on the ensuing kickoff, the onside kick goes to Jet Jackson, and he scoops it up and says, "See y'all later." Bront scores. That made it 13-8. The Bront back on offense, and here a fumble. Isaiah Troves scores off the scoop and score. That made it 14-13 Grady, and the Grady Bulldogs are going to go, or Wildcats are going to go on to get the win at 50-19. Some other scores from the area tonight. Robert Lee falls after that epic comeback against Very Best last week. They lose to Hermleigh 55-8. Meanwhile, the 10th ranked team in 1A Division II, Blackwell, snaps back after losing to Highland last week. They get a big win over Moran, 64-16. So, looking ahead to next week, the Central Bobcats open the season on Thursday night against Colleen Shoemaker. That'll definitely be a game that we're going to be watching. As I said, Wall against Midland Christian. That one should be fun. Ballinger, Llano. And, of course, we will always have a good six-man matchup when it includes Sterling City. They're going to play Happy at Borden County's place. So, those will be some games to keep an eye on for week 5. And until then, thank you for joining us. We'll be back next week with more high school football.
Inside the Game is sponsored by Mitchell Automotive Group.